Welcome to Trauma, a Vampire Diaries fan cast. Is only 10 years too late. No, we're gonna do a different intro. We're gonna go back, and I'm gonna say, welcome to Afterbite, a Vampire Diaries fan cast. Is only 10 years too late. This week, we are talking about Season 2, Episode 7 and 8, Masquerade and Rose.
The best episodes of Season 2. Well, one of the many best episodes of Season 2.
Did you say that about the first 2 episodes of Season 2,
Yes.
Brian?
He has said this about every single episode in Season 2
Just
thus
say you
far.
like Season 2 and go.
Season 2 is my favorite.
He's trying, Jourdann, in his own terrible way. He's trying.
I will die for Season 2.
I know this.
I mean, overall, so far, I agree with you. Good episodes across the
Pretty
board
fucking...
so far.
This slaps pretty
Thank
hard
you.
for, like, 2010 TV, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, Episode 7, Masquerade. The Netflix description is... Stefan and Damon decide on a new plan to deal with Katherine at the Masquerade Ball. Things take an ugly turn when Matt and Tyler start doing shots.
Wait, that's the actual Netflix
That
description?
is the Netflix description.
Wait,
They
I'm
just
just-
took 2 things that happened in the episode and just smushed them together. They're like, we are connecting the dots. You didn't connect shit, Netflix description writer. You didn't connect shit.
I'm just imagining, like, this, you know, the song, shot, 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 shot,
Exactly.
shot, shot.
Oh my god.
It is.
Can I just say that song is like the embodiment of like college parties and like my only memory of college parties because that's like the song they played every college party.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
100%.
Every single college party scene in a movie, they have that song. Every single frat party I've ever been to has played that song at
It's
least
just
once,
accurate.
probably multiple times.
It's just accurate.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
before we get to the shots,
No camera on me. I'm just like doing like peace
are
signs.
you doing it? Okay. Good, because I was also doing a thing too, and I'm glad that we were, even though we don't have a camera this week because it's not this is just an audio medium. I'm glad we were both together and being fucking
Yes.
dumbasses. This episode, Masquerade. We open up on it's like Damon and Caroline and Stefan talking.
Mm-hmm.
And Caroline, at one point during this sequence, calls herself a doofus. And I just want to say, I love you, Caroline Forbes.
Yeah. I really
love
do
you
love
so much.
Caroline Forbes. Can we just
really
like take
do.
a moment and just like think about how much we love Caroline Forbes for a sec?
I've taken 10 years of moments.
I just love her so much.
So she reveals that she saw Katherine at the Mystic Grill because she went to go like peep on Matt, which is a
I
very
love her.
Caroline Forbes thing to
love
do.
I love her.
I love her.
So
And then
much.
then Katherine almost kills her in the bathroom.
Yeah.
What a shitty way to die again, you know? Like, you've already died once in a hospital bed being smothered by a pillow, and then the next time you almost die is in the bathroom of the Mystic Grill. Like, damn.
Yeah.
That's just sad.
They
It's not
just
a good
keep
way to
putting
go.
her. They just keep putting her in unfortunate situations. Like if you're gonna kill her, just like give her a cool way to die. You know?
Yeah, do it at, like, the golden hour on, like, a hill or something, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
With the filter.
Exactly. So Katherine gives her a message to deliver to the Salvatores. She says something to the effect of, "Give me the moonstone, otherwise I'll tear this town apart until it rains blood." Which is such a
And-
vampire-ass insult.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So good.
Catherine Pierce just is that bitch, and we have to respect that.
We just have to acknowledge that she is that motherfucking bitch. And that's okay.
But also just imagine it raining blood. Like literally raining blood. Ugh.
Imagine what an unfortunate parody song of It's Raining Men that would be, you know?
It's raining blood. Oh my gosh, that was so fucking loud, Brian.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sometimes
so
we're struggling
sorry.
and that's okay.
That was so loud it was unintelligible. I don't even know what you were saying.
No,
I
that's
just
the point.
screamed.
Exactly, that was the point. It was meant to be unintelligible.
I mean, everything I say on this podcast is unintelligible. Yep.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah, great. Love this
So-
audio medium that we're doing.
This is an audio medium.
Not an audio large.
Are we just all gonna sit there? We're just gonna, you know what? We're just gonna move on. The Salvatore brothers decide that it is time to deal with Katherine once and for all.
It's about damn time.
They need to just they're washing their hands of this. It's done.
I
That's
love how
it.
they think that they can outsmart Katherine.
I know.
Like, they're like, oh, we're gonna like kill her. And I'm just like, you guys, like, do you know who you are? Like, come on, you guys. Like, let's be serious. And then Stefan's all like, Damon's like, oh, I'm gonna kill her. And Stefan's like, no, you're not, because I'm gonna kill her. Like, Stefan, come on. We both know you don't have the balls to kill anyone, let alone the person you apparently loved like 140 years ago. Come on, Stefan. Be honest with yourself. Be truthful for once. Come on.
And so they assemble just like a crack team of like Three Stooges lookalikes where they're just like, this is how we're gonna kill her. But we'll get back to that later.
This team can... Okay, I'm just gonna say it. It's like kids like who are being like told like, you guys have a project now, team up, and then they all just team up together.
They're like the lame version of the Avengers. They're the lame vampire Avengers, and I love them all deeply.
Yeah.
So before we get to our lame vampire Avengers, we see Katherine in her cute little bed and breakfast, where I can't tell. Yeah, I can't tell if what's her name, Miss Flowers, who runs the place.
Yeah.
I can't tell if she genuinely likes Katherine or if she's compelled. I think she might just genuinely be a very nice person, and I just want to say that's so refreshing.
Yeah.
So, fun fact about Miss Flowers, though, she's actually a character from the Vampire Diaries books.
Oh,
Ta-da!
really?
Yeah, I think. Hold on, I need to like refresh my memory. But Mrs. Flowers, Vampire Diaries. Hello, that's a long name. Theophilia Flowers. Damn.
Okay.
She was the landlady of the boarding house where Stefan stayed in the novels.
Oh,
Fun little like.
Fun.
They were like, we're gonna kick the writer off of this show, the writer of the books off of this show, but we'll keep a little tidbit in just for her.
No, they kicked her off the books themselves, and they have a ghostwriter now, which is sad.
So Katherine's up in her room about to get ready for this party when somebody steps out of the shadows of her room. Who is it?
Katherine 2.
Katherine 2.0. No, it is, what the fuck is her name? Rose?
Lucy.
Lucy. There we go.
Rose
There's a lot of new characters.
Episode.
Yeah, there's a lot of new characters here. We'll get through it. It is Lucy, who is a witch.
Bum, bum, bum.
Who would have thought? Who's this black person? Who's a woman?
Who's this black woman who'd appeared on the Vampire Diaries? I wonder if she's a witch.
Oh, is she a witch?
The white guilt on my face right now is just like,
No, but it's so funny. It's so funny because it is true for like 90% of the Vampire Diaries. It's true for like a good portion of the early seasons. Then it's just black people, and they're like, this is perfect. These are our witches and warlocks and whomsoever.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, it's right. We saw what you did, Julie, and we're not a fan of it. That's all. We have to.
But I mean, at least Julie admitted, like she said, like we did a lot of wrongs, like in the past.
Listen, you can admit what you want, Julie, but you gotta fix your wrongs.
I have my note in here that it seemed like for a split second, for a moment, it almost seemed like they were gonna kiss, and I was about to like pop the biggest fucking bottles. I'm like, oh shit, are they lesbians? Like, oh shit.
Honestly, she was like, will you be my date? And I was like, oh, it's Katherine Bye? Oh, okay.
Exactly. I was like, oh shit.
I was like,
date.
Right.
Have some fun, ladies.
Oh God.
Fortunately, that's not what happened. Katherine Petrova remains painfully straight.
Unfortunately. Honestly, it's like a loss for the gay community.
Honestly, yes. So we go to our Vampire Avengers team, basically, which is comprised of Alaric, Stefan, Damon, Caroline, Jeremy, and eventually, begrudgingly, Bonnie.
I love how they need so many people to kill one person.
I know. They're like, honestly, I know that we call, I know that the fandom calls just like the whole Mystic Falls gang the Scooby Gang, but this, and then the sequence we have at the Masquerade Ball later felt very Scooby Doo trap esque to me,
Yes,
and I
I
just
Yeah.
loved it.
yes.
But Alaric explains to Jeremy and also the other vampires how to kill vampires, and the vamps keep giving each other like side eye, like, "Hey, what the fuck, dude?" And Alaric's like, "You fucking asked. Y'all fucking asked how to kill a vampire. Here's how you kill a fucking vampire." Like, I just love that.
I love all the little what's it called, tools and gadgets that Alaric
Yeah.
has. It's just like you just know he like has a basement down somewhere and he's just like working on the next cool biggest thing that's gonna kill a vampire, you know?
It makes me wonder, like, what kind of weapons he has for the like in Legacies, and I'm like, what the fuck do we have besides a
That's like his
crossbow?
hobby. That's his hobby. That's what he does. He's like, oh my gosh, I know exactly what he is. You know those white people who like just do like hunting and just like are
Mhm.
preparing for the apocalypse?
Yeah,
Oh
he's a
god.
prepper.
That's who he is. That's like the version of that. He's like the version of that for vampires, basically.
He really is. And you know what? We love him for it.
Yeah.
We love him for it. So let's see here. We go to now the masquerade, and it is, I put in my notes here, it's a fucking party.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's
Yes.
a party. There are fire like breathers for some reason that are
Mm-hmm.
kind of dressed like pirates. I don't know what's going on there, but every time they were on screen, I paid attention to nothing else that was on screen except for those fire breathers. Even if they were in the background, I was like, I don't care.
They're
I
just
need to
doing
know
their thing.
specific, just like what they're doing. I don't know what they were on, but I love it. Also, though, doesn't really gel with a masquerade theme, but I'll let
Yeah,
it
I don't
slide.
think Mystic Falls people just know how to throw a good party, you know? Like I just
This
think
party looks like it slaps. It looks like it. They just got a lot of other like disparate elements, and they were like, "All right, now everybody, here's the genius part of this party. Y'all ready for this? Everybody put on masks.
and like
The
you know what?
boardroom erupts in
I
cheers."
I can totally see that happening because what's Tyler's mom's name? Is it Carol?
Yes.
Yeah, Carol,
Yes, Carol.
she was like, "Oh, like your father wanted to put this on. I don't know what it has to do with helping the homeless." And I'm like, "What? Huh? What?"
Oh yeah, they finally gave a fundraiser a purpose, which I feel like we should applaud. It's because it was to help the homeless.
But also,
So let's
Yeah.
give a little applause here. But also, y'all, really?
what? This is the type of party you throw? But also like
Yeah.
so then like I'm in my head I'm just like, "Oh yeah, no, they totally just was like, oh, this is like we're just like trying to help the homeless, whatever. This party doesn't matter. We're just gonna like throw a bunch of stuff in and then just tell everyone to put on a mask for fun." And that's exactly what happened.
That is probably exactly what happened. I love it. So Tyler and his mom actually have just like a really sweet moment where they were like, where she said, you know, when your dad gets his mind set on something, he just did it, and so we're gonna go out here and we're gonna put on these masks and we're gonna have a good time. And I just want to say this is some really good character growth from both of them.
Mhm.
It was very
Yep.
sweet. They
They
had a
really
little
are
moment of
better off with
connection.
they really are better off without that man, so
Honestly, you right.
Yeah.
You 100% right.
Yeah.
oh, there's like a scene
Jeremy.
before this where
Oh, is there?
Where Matt shows up to Elena's house.
Mhm. Oh, yeah, they bring Jenna home from the hospital,
Yeah.
and
After
Alaric's
she stabbed
job is to
herself.
keep exactly. Alaric's job is to keep Elena home and with them, so that she doesn't go to the party, so that the rest of the gang can kill Katherine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the one
like
thing I love about this is just like they have to keep Elena home, and we come to learn that that does not work out quite as well.
yeah.
Because
It doesn't.
Elena's literally like, okay, no one's talking to me. What the fuck is going on?
And Alaric is a bad liar, but I kind
Yeah.
of like that about a man. You know, I love when a man is just a pitifully terrible liar.
Because he only tells the truth.
He trying his best.
Yeah,
He
he's
does.
trying.
TVD Alark deserves rights.
He
You're
does.
not wrong. You're correct. There's a scene where Matt like comes in and still like talking to Elena, and he's like, "Oh, you're not gonna go to the party?" And she's like, "Yeah, no, I'm just gonna stay and help with Jenna." And like for a full on that entire scene, I was like, "Why is Matt at Elena's house?" And then at the end, when he's like, "Oh, I'm always here for you," blah blah blah, I'm like, "Oh right, they used to date." And for a full
Yeah.
blown like 2 minutes, I forgot that they used to date. It totally slipped my mind. It was not
I also
even a little bit there.
They were also best friends before that, and I think it stated
Yeah.
that Matt lives
They
next
were.
door
No,
or something like that, or like very
Matt doesn't live
close.
next door, but they grew up together. Like
Yeah.
I think because Elena's adoptive mom, oh my god, what's her name? Miranda and Kelly used to be like, Kelly being Matt
Matt's.
Donovan's
Mhm.
deadbeat mom, like
Mhm.
used to be like best friends in like high school
Mhm.
or something,
Yeah,
and like, or they just were close, so like the kids got close together. But like I think that's really what it was.
that's very
Yeah,
And
I
cute,
they
just
but also,
completely forgot about that.
yeah, just completely, because they just don't show it on screen
yeah.
ever at all in
I
season
know.
2. So you're just like, oh, right. They used to have a relationship. They used to be very close. And now it's like they're strangers. And Matt just shows up at random times. And it feels very much like, I know this is not a podcast about legacies, but it feels very much like MJ and Josie and Legacies, where they're supposed to be like very good friends. And like, there was like a scene in the last episode or the episode before where like MG gives Josie like this like
Mhm.
book, and it's like,
Mhm.
here's this thing that from that moment we had together where I messed up this thing, and I'm just like, what? Oh right, they used
Yeah,
to
I
Okay,
be
know.
best
bye.
friends.
It's a
Yeah,
lot of
I
yeah.
love this show.
There's a lot of times when they're like, "Hey, do you remember these moments that we had?" And
My
you're like,
brand,
"No,
the
but
moments.
now, sure." Yeah, exactly. It's Brian's brand
Yep,
precisely. So we get to the party.
it's a
I
great
just
party.
noted here in my notes that Jeremy has kind of like a little bit of a mullet going on. Like if he let it grow out a little bit further, it would be a mullet, and I'm not sure how I feel
I
about
don't mind
that.
it. I
Jeremy is Tiger King.
oh no, oh no.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Oh no. Do not compare Jeremy to that monster.
Jeremy's a good boy. Tiger King
He
is
is.
Always
Oh, that's a whole
questionable.
other story.
Not even questionable at best, just is questionable.
in
Hi, welcome
general,
to
yeah.
the Tiger King podcast. That's just right on time.
Very, very culturally relevant. We're switching gears, y'all.
But
Anyway,
I don't think I mind Jeremy's haircut. I think it suits him, and it
oh
reminds me a lot of season 1, honestly. Like his like
yeah,
Yeah,
floppy hair,
emo Jeremy. It's
yeah.
kind of like Jeremy's growing out of his emo phase now. Like he's starting to come
Yeah,
into that like preppy. I'm a jock man.
yeah.
I don't know what that
Okay.
was.
Uh-huh.
I don't know
You
what
know
that
that sound that all jocks make? Meh.
was.
It sounds like if they turned the embodiment of a high school jock, like the stereotypical jock, into like a character in Mario Kart, that's the sound that they would make when you hit them. Meh.
It just sounds like Squidward. No, the villagers from Minecraft.
There's so many
Anyway,
jokes I can make about that, but I will.
yeah,
I'll leave the
we don't have
joke
the
where it
time.
is. I'll leave the gag
The
where it is.
advertisers don't like that.
um, so Jeremy and Bonnie are hanging out, and like
Yes.
maybe
Yes.
start to
Yes.
see something.
I
Like
do see
Yes.
something, but I am still weirded out by it, and that's what I'll say. I'll say what I said. I'll say what I
at
wanted to
least,
say.
at least. Now it's not. Now it's just. I mean, Elena's like what 1 to 2 years older than him, whereas Vicky was however
Yeah,
older than him.
with
And if
Vicky, it
Bonnie's
was
about
really
the same
weird.
age as like Elena, that makes
Alana.
it less bad.
I
Still bad, but I'll allow it.
here's what I'll say. I see something, of course, because that's what they want me to see. They want me to see something, so I'll admit that I'll see something. But I will say it's weird because Bonnie is Elena's best friend. So then you're just
Yeah,
into your best friend's little
but also,
brother.
but also, get that drama. Give me the juice. Give me just like the juicy drama.
Yeah,
I
that's gonna
will.
be a
I
lot of
will.
drama.
I will say though, they do touch upon that like hard, like going
Oh yeah,
forward.
I mean, I
they do.
assume they will because
They will 100%. Like it's not like some Elena's just like, okay, great, you're dating Jeremy, bye.
yeah, no, I like assume Elena would be weirded out by that because that's her little brother and she's like very protective of it.
We'll
She
see.
really is. I love it. Anyway,
Yeah.
Bonnie vibe checks the room and she does not like what she feels.
I wrote that same note. Hold on, I think what I wrote
in the
I
room
wrote specifically.
and the vibes are a little whack.
I love how we're just like saying that Bonnie's just. I love that joke. That joke is continuing on to season 2. Let's keep that joke going. All right. I want to see more vibe check jokes. All right.
The note that I wrote was Bonnie vibe checks everyone.
She does. She vibe checks the room, and what she sees, she doesn't necessarily love. The vibes in the room are a little whack
They're a
for
little
reasons
off,
she
honestly.
can't explain.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like when you go into a room and like
Mhm.
everyone's talking about you, and then you go in and everyone's like really silent. You know, and you're like, what are you
Yeah.
guys talking
You're
about?
like, the vibes in here, fucking
Not good.
rancid.
Not good.
Hate
Yeah,
these
I will
vibes.
say though, I did like how Bonnie just like went up, like specifically went right up to Lucy and was like, "Do I know you?" I was like,
I know. She was like, "Are you?"
hmm.
She's like, "I think you're the source of these whack vibes, but I don't know why. Who are
And then
you?"
Lucy was just like playing off. She's like, I'm just a +1. And then she's like, bye. She goes, F shit up.
She got out of there so quickly. She was
She
like,
did.
you know when you're like talking to like a friend and then some other person comes up to like talk to your friend and tries to talk to you too and you're like, actually, I'm just gonna bounce. My friend, you can get back to me later. I'm just gonna go because I don't want to be here right now.
Yes.
It was a very like, I just don't want to be here right now, so I'm just gonna go over there.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bye. And so
Yeah.
Lucy just kind of runs off there. And we continue
I love
on.
that your next note was I keep getting distracted by the fire pirate dude in the background and I can't really focus on anything else. Like
That's what I was gonna say for this next scene. I think it was Katherine and Stefan dancing, but I kept getting distracted by the fire pirate guy. And I
Don't
just
worry,
want y'all
I
to
have notes
know
for that.
I don't give a shit about anything else that happened in the scene except for the fire pirate guy.
What were they
That's all
up
I
to?
care about.
Do you remember what they were up to?
The fire pirate
I
dude?
do.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was spinning. He licked
He
his
was
hand, took
spinning.
the fire from like one of the sticks and like put it on the other one.
I
It was a
saw
very
that.
cool maneuver.
I saw
He
that.
ate some fire at one point. His eyeliner is on fucking point, and I just this is a fire pirate guy fan like appreciation podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I know I'm the only one in the world who gives a shit about this fire pirate
No,
dude,
you're
but I
not.
want to know him. I want to know his name. I want to know his story.
There is
I honestly am debating looking
His
him up on
address, his
IMDb
social,
just to see who
what he
it
makes in a
is.
year.
What is his Twitter? What's the job market for fire spinners right now?
Can
I
we get
want
one
to
on the
enter that
podcast?
job market.
It's a real question.
Can
We
we
just hear
get him on the
little, like,
podcast?
boom, boom. But basically, this scene, because B was so distracted by the fire pirate, was Stefan and Katherine dancing, being all like, "Ooh, I'm gonna kill someone." And Stefan's like, "No, you're not." And Katherine's like, "Yes, I am." And I love this like note that I wrote. It was like, I wonder how Nina felt not being in this episode as much. And then I wrote, "Wait, that's Nina. God damn it."
Nina, once again, you've done it.
Yeah.
You've raised the bar for all of us because literally such good acting, especially the scene where we're gonna come back. We're gonna come to the scene later, but the scene where she's in the same room with Stefan and Damon, and they're all like it's so good because I'm like, that's Katherine. That's not Nina,
Yeah.
but it is Nina. She's playing a different character and she's doing it so well. She's convincing me. Like it's just magical, honestly.
It just, you can feel like, you know that's Nina, but at the same time, like, you keep thinking that's a different actress. And that's what's so good about it.
Yeah.
Nina Dobrev, so powerful and also putting in so much work. I hope you got paid very well for this show. I mean, I know you didn't, but I wish you did.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of respect that I have for Nina now is like, mwah.
I know.
But like, I love how like Katherine was basically like, "Dance with me or I kill someone." And I'm like, okay.
Well, yes, ma'am. All right, let's dance. And the way Stefan just like puts out his arm, he's like, "God fucking damn it, not again."
Yeah.
He's like,
and just
fuck
like their
it.
little banter, like, I love it. And then Amy freaking Bradley just
Oh man, I
comes
love
over.
Amy Bradley. I wish I love her, and I hope she continues on as a reoccurring character. She dies right here.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Rip
I
to
do loved
Amy.
how Katherine did it though. Like that was the best. Like she didn't care who saw her. Like she literally went in. She's like paralyzed from the waist down and dead. And then just threw on Stefan and she was like, bye bye.
She's like, anyway, Moonstone, bitch.
But also,
So,
Stefan not expecting that. Come on, Stefan.
I know.
Like, be a little smart sometimes. Come on.
Yeah.
This though, I think also Stefan mentioned it when they were doing their Avengers Assemble sequence. Is he was like, she's not gonna expect us to attack her in the open at a party, so we need to go to the party for cover so that there's strength in numbers and other people are safe because she won't do anything at the party. And then she murders Amy Bradley on the dance floor, and you can see Stefan just going like, fuck.
And I'm over here like,
Yeah.
Stefan, what did you expect? Like, you just have the worst. He has like the worst. He's the worst at telling what people will actually do. You know, like he has the worst. Like, he doesn't get people. He doesn't get how like.
He doesn't get Katherine,
Yeah,
even though
he
he
doesn't.
should.
He doesn't, and you
Yeah,
should.
Katherine is just a wild card. Like I was not like if I was Stefan, I would not expect Katherine to do that in the open, like and intently expose herself because she's pretending to be Elena right now. Like that could have
But
exposed her.
also
Like and,
the way that Katherine did it, it was like so like hidden, like unless you were like looking at her and her interaction with Stefan very
it's a very good
closely,
first detail.
you didn't realize what was going on. So I will say, like, that's why I'm like, Katherine will do anything. She's spontaneous. She like always has a plan in mind. Like she like knows what she's doing. So that's why I'm like, I don't know why. Like I get in the like the way that the story is being told that Stefan is like, oh, she wouldn't do that, but like in reality I'm like, Stefan, you really think she wouldn't do like that? Like you've seen like literally last episode she went and tried to murder Jenna but getting Jenna to stab herself, so like she would do anything. Like she's like unpredictable,
and we love that about her.
yeah, we do,
And we
do.
stan a queen. So after she murders Amy Bradley, R.I.P. Amy Bradley,
I missed you.
Elena sneaks out of the house in the flimsiest fucking way possible. She just says, I'm gonna go to bed, and then steals the keys and walks out the front door. Like, hey, climb out a window, Elena. Do your teenage debauchery like the rest of us. You have an upstairs bedroom. They're gonna hear that you didn't go up the stairs. Like,
But
hey,
also hear the door
fun.
open.
Also, yeah, she went out the front ass door. Like, bro.
Also, Alaric is the worst babysitter in the entire
worst.
He is.
He's so
It
bad.
makes me wonder what happened to Lizzie and Josie when they were kids.
Oh,
like,
God. I don't even.
Trauma. Hey, trauma.
Yeah,
It was just.
we haven't gotten there yet, but there is some trauma.
I mean,
oh
will we
boy,
ever
howdy,
get there?
is there? I don't know, man. We got a long haul ahead of us on this podcast. So, Elena goes to the masquerade ball.
Mm-hmm.
And
where no one wanted her to go.
Exactly.
You know what they're so stupid for?
Mm-hmm.
They should have just let her stay at home. Because, or at least in my opinion, like when I was first like watching this, I was like, oh, like is Elena gonna show up and then like there's gonna be like some like misconception over like who's Elena, who's Katherine. They did it in such a better way than like just doing like a oh who's who, you know, with the whole like plot twist that they had. But I was over here like, why didn't they just tell Elena to stay home? Because it might be confusing. Maybe they might like accidentally trap or kill her and she might get in the way, you know what I mean? Like I feel like they would have benefited from Elena knowing what the plan was, but they were just like, let's not tell her and hope that everything works out fine and okay.
The problem was they didn't tell Elena, and Elena cares way too much about her friends, so I think that's probably one reason why they didn't tell her, because she'd be like, no, none of you are doing that, because this is all about me and Stefan. You are not getting involved in my problems. But then at the same time, I'm like, you gotta tell Elena what's going on, because she will show up and be like, hello.
Yeah,
I know. Now she's just in the way and doesn't know what's going on.
Exactly.
If you had told her the plan, she could have been in the way, but knowing what was going on, and that would have made that a little bit better.
Yeah.
I I have a note here that just says Matt really does look nice in his suit.
Yeah,
He
I
does.
just want to note that. I think he just looks very nice.
he does. You know who else looks very nice this episode?
Mhm.
Caroline.
Also very fucking
She
true.
looks so pretty.
Yes, I wrote that as a note.
I love that we're all just like, hi, Caroline, love you. Big
Like her
fan.
dress is so nice. It's like a nice red
Aw.
dress, and then like it just complements her so well, and she looks
Oh.
glowing. You know.
Yeah, I think what I wrote was Caroline looks amazing. Just saying.
Yeah,
That's it. That's all you need to say.
great.
She just looks so good. Again, we are the presidents of the Caroline Forbes Appreciation Fan Club. That's
Mhm.
just it. Let's see. Jeremy goes up to Katherine and he's like, Damon and Stefan want you to meet them out by the lake so they can give you the moonstone. And she's like, seems like a fucking trap to me. Jeremy's like, sure, what the fuck ever, dude. I don't give a shit. Which I just kind of like. That's very Jeremy Gilbert of him, you know? He's just like, I'm not afraid of you, so sucks. Go to the lake or not my fucking problem. And I love that. And then he texts, once Catherine walks away, he texts Caroline and he says, it's your turn. So here's where we get to the Scooby-Doo ass like sequence of this episode. But I also do have the note, she has Jeremy's name in her phone as Jeremy parentheses mobile in parentheses. So like, hey guys, remember when we put people's names in our phone as like their actual names and not Weed Liquor 69 or some dumb bullshit? Like, you remember that?
Listen, they needed that AT&T sponsorship.
They needed that AT&T money so fucking bad that they were like,
they did.
okay, so we can't make Jeremy's name in Caroline's phone like dumbass Elena's little brother or like dumbass or fucking Weed Liquor 69. It has to be like Jeremy parentheses mobile, which is the most boring like white mom shit, but it was also like a very specific time in cell phone history when we were all like, oh, we should put people's names in as like their names. And now like half my fucking contacts are like guy who sat next to me in accounting 201 or like angel emoji from party or whatever. Like, it's just like no fucking actual names.
Yeah.
Which I just think is fun.
Yeah.
So Katherine goes to Caroline. She's like, what the fuck is going on? Caroline's like, I don't fucking know what's going on. What do you think is going on? And she tricks Katherine into taking her upstairs and walking into the trap room. And she says, and she looks so proud of herself once she has completed her.
And I'm just like,
mission.
yes, baby, be proud of yourself because you did that.
Like, yes, I love you. She was like, wow, I didn't think I could do it, but I could, huh? That's fun. Anyway, have fun, ladies. And Stefan, and then she just walks away.
She's so good.
I did like the little callback to the hello, John, goodbye, John. Stefan and Dean were like, hello, Katherine. And Caroline was like, goodbye, Katherine. And she's like, la, 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 la.
She just walks away. She's like, anyway, y'all do you. I'm going to go down and get some more hors d'oeuvres. Do y'all want anything? Like a snack?
Pigs in a blanket.
But also Caroline, like actually being good at acting and like tricking people.
I did write in my notes, Caroline Forbes, winner of the Best Actress category.
Yeah.
She really is.
And like, you know how I feel like there's two ways to pull off the I'm acting, but it's either that you're just like really good at acting and then you just pull it off, or the other option, which I feel like Danielle Rose Russell on Legacies does a lot, where she's like acting, but you can tell that she's acting as an actor. Does that make sense?
Like,
yeah,
that doesn't.
So
it's like it's obvious that you're acting, and it's weird that no one else is noticing that it's obvious that you're not like being truthful and real right now. But also, I love it.
Okay,
I can kind of.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like, there's two routes. There's like what Caroline did, where it's like, oh, I'm acting.
You're just actually good at this.
Yeah, and then there's the other route where it's like, you're not good at this at all, but people are believing you somehow.
Yeah, like, oh, the character is acting so bad that we can see it, but everybody else is like, okay, sure, and then other is the character actually acting very well.
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
You got me. You threw me off with the DRR mention, but I'll live.
Okay, sorry about that.
I got there in the end.
Yeah.
So Stefan and Damon start to fight Katherine. It is a fun little menage a trois of fighting. It's a fun little symphony of violence. And as they go, they stab Catherine. Sorry, they don't stab
Mm-hmm.
Caroline. They love Caroline
No, of
now.
course.
They stab Catherine in the back. And Elena, who has entered the party and is like chilling with Jeremy and Bonnie in some bushes, which I don't know why that happened, but I just love it anyway. She starts to bleed.
And then you're like, oh my
Yes.
fucking god. Then you're like, what the
As
fuck
the
is going on?
Salvatore boys continue to fight Catherine, they also hurt Elena.
And that is the best plot twist.
It
Because
Such
was.
a good plot, just
Because
such a good twist.
I was expecting, like I said earlier, that Elena coming would cause problems because of the fact that, like, you don't know who's who, and you're like, oh, is this Catherine or is this Elena right now? And really, what the problem is that if you hurt Catherine, you hurt Elena too. That's so good. It's so good.
Mm.
It's just so good. And
Yeah.
Bonnie's like, ah, fuck. Go tell the boys that they are hurting Catherine, or that while they're hurting Catherine, they're also hating Elena. So Jeremy runs up. He scampers away. And then when he tells them all the fighting stops in the room. And then Catherine takes like a stake and just like scrapes it across her hand to like make herself bleed, because it doesn't hurt her as much as it hurts Elena, because she's a vampire, obviously. And so
Yeah.
the fight goes from two dudes beating up Catherine to like two dudes trying to stop a toddler from sticking a fork in an electrical outlet.
Wait,
It becomes
Yeah.
they're trying to stop her from hurting herself, and they're just like, no, we have to baby proof this room. They're like going at it.
it's the vibe where it's like, what do you have? A knife?
No, exactly. There's just that
will
meme.
I will say though, this entire fight scene is one of my favorite fight scenes of all Vampire Diaries, just because it's the main three, and like they're typically like, "Ooh, drama, we're in love with each other." No, they're not in love with each other. Oh God. Anyway, they're like, it's all like lovey-dovey scene, so it's kind of nice to see like a little action scene. Also, Catherine catching the steak and throwing it back.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
Yes.
Iconic.
That turned me straight. I turned straight because of that. I was like, and then also the suit, with Stefan like in his like suit coat with like the stakes coming out, like the pew pew.
Yes,
like,
the
amazing.
Assassin's Creed blades, basically, where he just
and then
loads and
also
throws them.
when Dan was about to like stake Catherine, and Catherine just took the stake, twisted his arm back, and like about to just have him stake himself.
Broke his wrist. Oh, so good.
Good.
This
Very
fight
good.
scene, I will say, is very good.
Very good.
Even when they get to the point where they are trying to like stop her from hurting herself, like even
And,
when
like-
they turn into that vine of "What do you have? A knife?" No. Even when they do that,
Like,
it's just so good.
what was also very good was like the banter and like the back and forth between all three characters was also so good. That scene.
Mhm. It's
so
such a it turns into such a fun dynamic. So there's two kind of concurrent plots. It's Bonnie at the party like trying to help Elena and like trying to figure out like what's going on. It's also Caroline doing a secret thing that we'll get to later. We'll do that whole sequence kind of as one. But then it's also the bantering in this upper room here, where it's Catherine trying to flirt with both of the boys. Damon's just like, shut up, stop. And then Stefan is like actually trying to play Sherlock Holmes in the parlor. He's like, here's my deductions. Here's what's happening. He's like actually trying to get information. And then the other two are just like, shut the fuck up, dude. And Catherine keeps trying to like deflect, but every time she deflects, Stefan's like, but why wouldn't you try to break the curse?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
Catherine had everything she needed. Why not try to break it?
And he's like, who were you running from when you first met us? The Moonstone was never yours, so why are you trying to get it back? That sort of thing. He's playing Sherlock Holmes never really did it in actual like literature. He's playing more like a Hercule Poirot, where he like gathered everybody in the parlor and he's like, here's my deductions. And I just love that shit so fucking much.
Yeah. I did love how Catherine was like, she was like, as like Stefan's about to like holding her against the wall or something. She's like, God, you're hot. Like, no, she said that to Damon. And I'm like, yes, queen. Like, she's flirting her way like through all of this. And it's amazing. I also liked how she was like, kiss me, Stefan. And she goes, better yet, kiss me, Damon. Elena will feel that too. And I was like, ooh.
She really be like,
It was
kind of yikes, but I kind of love it.
I loved it too. I was literally like, yes. But like, it was just awesome how they were like, who's Katherine, who are you running from? And Katherine just didn't answer it. And it's like, they caught her. Like, they figured out like something. And I'm like, yes. But it's no one important, I don't think. It's no one important. Like, we don't have to
that storyline's not going to go anywhere. Let's go to the storylines that are going to go somewhere. Where it's Matt, Tyler, and Sarah drinking in...
Amy's dead.
Amy's out of this little group.
Yeah.
Matt, Tyler, and Sarah are drinking in Tyler's dad's office. And Matt is like being a fucking dick because we know he's been egged on by, or he's been compelled by Katherine to try and turn Tyler into a werewolf. So he's like egging Tyler on. He's like being fucking mean about his dad. He's like, hey, remember when your dad used to like slap you around? And at one point, Sarah says, come on, you're being mean. His dad's dead. And I'm like, thank you for stating the obvious, man. Like, yeah, you're right. Okay. Like, I just love that. But it's like a very, it hurts in a weird way because Matt's so
kind,
nice, and you know he would never actually do that and never actually like make fun of Tyler for that. And it's just like,
this hurts.
Ouch. Punch to the gut there.
And it gets even more hurting in a second.
It does. Because Matt and Tyler start to fight, and Caroline from like across the party hears sounds of a scuffle. Her like shit's going down instinct pops off. She's like,
her radar.
Something's happening. And she busts into the office where Matt and Tyler are fighting, and she's like, hey, fucking stop. And so she uses a little bit of her vampire strength to throw like Matt back.
And she just like,
and she splits him up.
Knocks him out, honestly. She just...
Well, she splits him up first, and then Matt comes back and he's like, I can't stop. Caroline, I can't stop. And she's like, all right, fuck it. Throws an elbow, hits him in the fucking nose, knocks him out.
Knocks him the fuck out, man.
Yeah.
And then Sarah steals a letter opener from Mayor Lockwood's desk. And she says, if Matt fails, I can't. And she like... stabs Tyler in the shoulder. And I love it because he just like instinctively, he's like, no, what the fuck? And just like throws her off. But unfortunately, her head hits the side of the desk and she dies.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Sarah's not going to stay around?
No.
Yeah, unfortunately, she didn't get that season regular contract.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, just had the guest spot. So Tyler, I think Caroline and Tyler both kind of realize what's happening at the same moment because Caroline obviously can sense when she's dead because, you know, she's one less human blood bag around.
Yeah.
But she still goes through the theater of like putting her fingers on the pulse of the dead girl. She's like, oh no. And Tyler has like a little mini breakdown, and he's hurting for some reason, and then he opens his eyes and they are golden.
Yeah. And it's
I'm sure that doesn't mean anything.
We all know what it means.
He is now a werewolf.
And it really made me sad. This scene really made me sad.
It did. It hurt.
It was like, Tyler never asked for this, you know?
Yeah.
And not just because, like, it made me sad twofold because Matt was the one who first started coming at him, and that obviously, like, fucking hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, he really didn't try to kill Sarah. She just fell wrong.
Yeah.
Like, she stabbed him in the shoulder, but he did, like, an instinctive, like, just, like, a shove back, like, hold on, what the fuck? And she just, it hurts.
And, like,
it hurts, man.
And, like, the moment that Caroline, like, knocks Matt out, you're like, oh, okay, everything's fine. And then Sarah comes after him, you're like, oh, fuck. I cannot believe she had a backup plan. Like, oh, my God.
You know how the alphabet works, don't you, Jourdann? Also, I will say the foreshadowing with Sarah, like when Tyler pushed her down the stairs,
Oh my
like
gosh.
that literally was like perfect. I was like, okay, this is great.
Yeah. Like the whole
Not great for Sarah, but like it's great.
obviously not great for her. But
Mhm.
like the whole ever since we've learned Tyler will be a werewolf if he kills somebody, every single moment or he's around other people has been so like filled with tension of like, shit, is this when he's gonna snap?
Yeah.
And this time
Yeah.
he didn't even snap.
He
He
just
got snapped at.
accidentally got killed, and I mean he accidentally killed someone, and that's just like it's just really sad because it's also like now he has to deal with the guilt of like being involved in someone's death. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's not only that he's a vampire. It's not only that he's a werewolf now, and he didn't want to be a werewolf. He wanted to stay away from all of that, but now
Yeah.
he also accidentally was involved in the death of someone, and didn't was trying his best to make sure that that did not happen. Which I feel like in my head he would have gone like on like this whole like trying to be zen
Mm-hmm.
redemption arc, but he like never got to do that because he killed someone by accident.
It just it hurts.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bonnie eventually confronts Lucy, the other witch, and they
Uh-huh.
both kind of do their version of like the weird like vision thing where they like kind of dive into each other's minds. It's a weird clicky moment.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point Lucy like grabs Bonnie's arm and she's like, "Do you feel that? You can trust me." It's like, ooh, ooh,
What's
shit.
that? What's
Ooh,
that
what's
mean?
that? Why can't she trust you, ladies? And then she goes. Then we cut back to upstairs with the boys and Katherine, and Lucy walks in with the moonstone,
Yay!
and she says to Katherine, "Once I hand this over, we're even. I don't owe you anything. We're done, right?" Catherine's like, yeah, sure, what the fuck ever. Who gives a shit? And then she hands the moonstone over to Katherine, and then Katherine falls over, and she gets hurt.
And you're
And the
like,
boys are like, oh shit, well, what about Elena? And she's like, no, Elena's fine. I dropped the linking spell, and now I'm just keeping her down. So, the witches?
they're
Fucking clicky.
they fucking know what
Yeah.
they're doing, you know?
Exactly. Like, they're on their own side, but they're also working with some other side. But over all of that, they are on the side of witches and preserving other witches.
Yeah.
So it's like witches helping witches, you know?
Yeah.
Ugh, girl power. We love to see it, honestly.
We really do.
And so the boys still end up with the moonstone. Or wait, at this point, yeah, the boys still end up with the moonstone. Catherine's down on the ground, dead? Question mark, to be determined.
Yes.
And then Caroline, we cut to Caroline down in the basement, or down in the study with Tyler and the dead body of Sarah, and she's explaining everything to Mayor Lockwood. And Mayor Lockwood is reacting surprisingly well to having a girl die in her own home.
Yeah.
Surprisingly well.
I feel like she was like in her head, she's like, "Oh, this happened. It was bound to happen, I
Anyway.
guess."
They're
Next,
also desensitized to teens dying in this town. They're just like, oh, great, another one. Here we go.
honestly,
Yeah.
this is another question I had. There are so many teens who die in this town or go missing, and I'm over here like, who would decide to like raise their family here or continue to raise their
know.
family here? Wouldn't you
I
just like
know.
get up and leave? Like,
Yeah. Go
With the
literally
property
anywhere
values,
else on Earth.
so.
what did you
Brian,
say,
you
Brian?
sound like you're from in the middle of an airplane tunnel.
How am I? How?
There you go. I think you just covered your mouth or covered your microphone on accident.
No, I didn't.
What microphone is it going off of?
The one on my computer because my AirPods died.
Okay,
Oh.
so just... Oh no, you might have just covered it up for a second. Anyway, what were you saying?
The property values in Mystic Falls must be pretty high. That's probably right.
You can buy like an acre of land for like $13 because at least 20 people have died or gone missing there, and so you're like, "Ooh, great deal!"
Anyway, there probably was a witch sacrifice there or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine.
Like that town
It's fine.
is obviously cursed, and I would not raise my family there at all. Like
I would.
Brian has a
Listen, it
death
looks
wish,
great.
though.
he does have a death wish.
Listen, it looks great there.
I don't think your number one concern when buying a property should be, oh, it looks great, but all these deaths have happened, but it looks great, so it's worth the
The deal?
it's worth the
Too good to
deal.
pass up.
Yeah, I don't think that should be your number one concern.
So this scene in the study with Caroline and Tyler also kind of starts off one of Caroline's it brings up one of Caroline's characteristics that we may have kind of forgotten about, is that she really likes to fix things.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, this is a problem I can fix, so I'm
Mhm.
going to fix it. I just want to say, it's very sexy of you, Caroline. Thank you.
I feel
Everybody
like
needs a Caroline Forbes in their life.
I feel like there's so many things about Caroline where like I'm just like, I have been in your situation, like I feel like I resonate with you on such a high level of like, yes, I too feel the anxious need to just fix things around me. Yes, same vibe, same.
Yeah,
Same.
100%.
And so then we go back out to the party, to Bonnie and Lucy, and they do my least favorite thing here, where they make it so that Lucy is distantly related to Bonnie.
Yeah.
Because they're making all the witches fucking related for some godforsaken fucking reason.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
But
what do you have to say?
I know you
Brian?
like it, but you like everything about this show, so the thing that I do
Yeah.
like though is because even though we know it's not true now because we've seen more of Legacy, the originals and more of TVD, and we know more about this world, when you were watching it live, did they think that witching ran in like bloodlines like werewolfing did?
Yeah, that's another thing.
That's
Like
the
with witches?
yeah. Did like
Yeah,
folks think that it was a bloodline thing like werewolves?
I think it is a bloodline thing. Like it's a bloodline, like in
I mean,
bloodlines.
yes, but
Like
did they think
witches.
it was specifically like a Bennett like bloodline thing? Like, did they think they were the only ones, like you did with the
No,
Lockwoods
no, no, no,
originally?
no, no. They will kind of like go further into the
I mean,
series. Like
I know that we know
I
that
think it's
now,
like
but like,
right.
was that to throw us off at the beginning of the series?
Yeah, like what was your experience watching it for the first time? Right.
My experience was like I knew there were probably other witches out there,
Mm-hmm.
like other witches that weren't just Bennett's, but like Bennett's were like the more important ones because they were like the more powerful, more like if you got like another random witch, they're like, okay, great. But then they're like, oh, you're a Bennett? Oh shit, we gotta take you seriously. Like I feel like that's kind of what it was for me watching it live. Like it wasn't like anything like that, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they make all the witches related so far, and I hate it, and I just want it to be known.
I will
I would
say
just like to
Yeah.
put that out. Hate
I
it.
will say I do think the show focuses a lot on like ancestry and like where you come from and how that like influences how you like who you not only who you are but like how you act and different things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I will say I don't entirely hate that concept. I think it's interesting when it's done well. Like in the next episode when we come into um like the introduction of characters. We all know who I'm talking about. I'll leave that until we get to the next episode. But um I think that's really interesting when it's done well.
Mm-hmm.
Um I don't necessarily know if just introducing witches and then having them somehow being related to the Bennett witches is the best way to do that.
Yeah, I don't
I
love it.
yeah, I still know this was good for Bonnie to meet Lucy
I
though.
agree.
Not just because something Lucy said. I have to stop letting vampires control me. And I'm like, Bonnie.
She needed this. This
Yeah.
is her Beyonce
that's-
Lemonade moment, you
Yeah.
know?
Yes, this is like
This is
it's
when
kinda
she's
like
breaking the
Lucy's-
car window with the baseball bat and she's like, "Oh, I should do this, huh?"
Yeah, Lucy was kind of like that cautionary tale for like who Bonnie could become if she continues to meddle in vampire affairs, which we all know is still going to happen. But like, who she could become if she doesn't fight for herself.
Mhm.
Oh, so good.
And like I
Also,
think
But I did like this other note that I wrote.
Mhm.
Lucy's a Bennett, she's a Bennett, I'm a Bennett, everyone gets a Bennett.
everybody's a Bennett witch, you know? It's that Bennett witch flex tape, baby. Julie Plec purchased a roll of it and she intends to fucking use it. She's gonna purchase the whole damn factory soon enough. But the other thing is that I wanted to note on Jourdann's point of like TVD and all the shows kind of hitting heavy on ancestry. They're gonna get into it. That I think that's one of the core themes of the universe overall, honestly.
yeah.
And we'll like get into it, especially next episode, but we'll get into it as we get further in. That I think where you come from and who you come from is a very big theme on Vampire Diaries universe shows.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like I was
love that.
gonna say that I don't necessarily like dislike the introduction of Lucy just because Bonnie did lose her grandmother, and like is like mainly figuring out all of this witch stuff on her own. So I think it's
Mhm.
very nice to know that there's someone who she's related to out there who's also a witch that she can like in the future like go to for support, and like is not like on her own like little island anymore in that type of
Mhm.
sense.
She needed someone.
Yeah.
Lucy also says, "You'll see me again," which is, I'm just gonna tell you now, a fucking lie. Blatant lie. We're never gonna see Lucy again.
Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding you.
Jourdann,
We're
Jourdann,
never gonna see Lucy
Jourdann, I'm
again.
going to prepare you for this. You will get mentions of her throughout the entire show, which is cute. It's fun. It's great. Like, I love hearing like a little bit of Lucy, but I'm like, where the hell is she?
I've never
That
been more
actress never returns.
I've never been
No,
more
she does.
deceived.
She does. She does return in the series finale of the Vampire Diaries.
I've never
Okay.
been more deceived in my entire life. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me?
How do you think I felt?
Yeah,
How do you think I felt?
She never coming back, baby.
I remember thinking, like, when they said, "You'll see me again," I was like, "Yes, we're going to see Lucy again."
I
And then
was
I'm like,
so
season 3.
excited to see her again.
I was like, Lucy, okay, season 3, here we go. Okay, she didn't show up. It'll be season 4. Okay, not season 4. Season 5? Okay, no. Season 6, oop, there's a mention. She could come up. Season 7, ooh, there's a lot about Lucy. Maybe she'll show up. Okay, still no Lucy. Okay. Okay, season 8? No, okay, great. And, series finale. There she is.
Are you fucking with me?
I am not fucking with you.
I've never
We're not
been
fucking
more
with you.
deceived
She
in my
never comes
entire
back.
life.
Until the last episode.
How dare they?
Hold on. Lucy Bennett. Hold on. I need to look up how many episodes she was.
I
I
will
already know it's
too.
2.
I'll be writing a strongly worded letter to the entire
To Julie Plec.
I will be writing a strongly worded
Episode count 2. Episode count.
strongly worded letter. Expect it in your mailbox very soon. Wait, actually, maybe like not very soon
First-
because the USPS system is like kind of like breaking down right now. But like as soon as that's functioning again, some type of postal service is functioning again, expect a piece of mail in your box, in your mailbox. Expect it.
from me.
Her first appearance was Masquerade. Her last appearance was I Was Feeling Epic, the series finale.
That's so stupid.
I'm not gonna tell you though how and the why how she appears.
Yeah, don't do that.
Just
she's there.
Just be mentally prepared for what's about
She's
to
there.
happen.
She's there.
She's
No,
there.
it's fine. It's fine, Brian.
B and I
Don't say
know it.
anymore. She's there.
Yep.
Wow.
She's there.
She's a
Y'all
fucking
are rude. Y'all are disrespectful. I won't forget this. I'm not,
It also could have been like the actress probably wasn't available. That also could have
but
been
also,
the issue.
how
but, like,
how much I want to know about the actress. I want to know if the actress really wasn't available or they just didn't
All right,
bring her back.
let's fucking do this then, shall we?
Let's do it.
IMDb. Let's go, baby.
I have to know that.
Natasha Williams.
What else was she in from about 2010 to 2018? Like, what was she in? What was her name?
Find her. Oh, there she is. Natasha Williams.
Okay, let's see.
Hold on. Okay, no, she was not busy. She was not busy. In between, during Vampire Diaries, I think she did one TV show, and that was it.
Y'all are rude. Y'all are disrespectful. Yeah.
Anyway, let's go back to the fucking episode because we have like 3 last plot points to finish up here.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh my god.
Bonnie and Jeremy are sweet and cute, and Jeremy offers to give her a ride home. And they're babies,
Yay.
Your Honor.
He
And Bonnie's
says-
like, when did you get your license?
He says, "I'm not a kid anymore, Bonnie." And I was like, "You're not a kid."
And then there's me, and then there's just me watching them like, yes.
And there's me saying, "You're not a kid, Jeremy. You're not 15 or 16-year-old. You're not a kid, Jeremy. Please calm down. You got your driver's
Jeremy.
license. Next." And
Jeremy,
also,
please.
also, like, final last words before you fuck your best friend's brother. I mean, am I like, I was like, I know you guys are setting it up. I see it are already happening. But also, he's still a
my
child.
God.
Famous last words.
Famous last words where you fuck your best friend's brother.
I mean, it is.
Victoria's in it.
They have to establish that he's not a kid anymore. He's a man.
Yeah.
He's a man. But also, he's
They
not a
need to
man.
establish
He's
that.
a child.
Oh my God. I have a headache.
He's a child.
So fuck, I'm sorry, Jourdann, that took me out. Stelena actually breaks up.
I'm still angry about it.
They like actually for real though break up.
But honestly, I think it's what's best for Elena at this point in her life right now. So I'm like sad about it, but not that sad about it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sad about it though.
Still a little sad about it. We zoom in on Katherine waking up. The moonstone is right next to her hand.
Who did that?
I know. Here's the thing. Let's So Catherine's in the tomb again.
Yeah, not again for the first time ever.
Catherine's in the tomb for the first time. And she has the moonstone with her. For some reason, they put the moonstone in there, but not... Like, why would you not just keep it?
Yeah.
Like
you don't
I
know if she
think
can
their thought-
escape.
I think their thought process is because no vampire can get in. Vampires can go in, but they can't get out. So
But
it's like whoever
also
Katherine.
we're dealing with Katherine of all people.
And also, like,
Catherine.
what if you need that moonstone in the future?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you gonna do then? Years down
I
the
think their thought
road,
process is
like, years down the road, you need a moonstone for something, and you're like, fucking bullshit. It's in the fucking tomb with Katherine. We can't go in and get it. Like, what the fuck?
I'm sorry, that's just dumb moves. That's like
That was
both
dumb
dumb-
move, boys.
Vampires can't go in and not be, and vampires can't go in because they can't come out. But
What human
Not
is
to say
gonna
humans
go
can't
in
go in.
there and come out?
well,
with
Catherine's gonna
Catherine
be
being there?
desiccated.
But
Catherine
what if
will be
they need it
desiccated
in,
because
like,
she's
a
not
week?
drinking blood.
She's not gonna be desiccated in, like, a week. Like,
Yeah,
you know what
that's
I
I'm
mean?
saying. Like
The next day, they're like, God damn it!
it was just a dumb move. Like overall dumb move. Like I don't like you could have made like you could have separated it from Katherine and still like put it in a place where like it's hard for vampires to get to it.
Yeah, I just think that what their thinking was like, someone's after Katherine. Great, we'll just lock her in the tomb. Whoever wants to come get
But they
her,
don't even they
she'll be
didn't
locked
even
away.
really think about the fact that someone's after Katherine, right? They're like
But they
Until-
know that now. So that does kind of make sense that they would lock Katherine and just like take her out of play there. But also
just take the
why put
moonstone with you and
moonstone
lock
with
it
her?
away.
It just
I mean, what are they gonna do? Hide it in a soap dish? Like, come on.
No, what I'm saying is that they were able to recreate that thing with the tomb. Just recreate something similar for the moonstone, but like away from Katherine.
put it in a box, drop it down to that fucking vervain well.
Exactly. There's so many options, but you decided to keep it with Katherine. Like,
I think just the irony of it all.
I mean, it is fun and it is ironic. Katherine is not very happy about being locked in the tomb, and she says, I know, shocking. Katherine says some very interesting things about Elena. She says that she's the doppelganger, she needs to be protected, and that she's like, why do you think I haven't killed her yet? Which is a good fucking question, actually.
Yeah. Katherine wanted Elena out of the picture, basically, because she wanted Stefan all to herself. But why not just kill her?
Exactly.
yeah.
So, like, what the fuck? And then we start off on, maybe this might be the first or second time in the series, but Elena gets kidnapped. She's going home from the party. She gets kidnapped. This is going to be the first of many times where Elena gets kidnapped and somebody needs to go save her. Just get ready for this reoccurring theme.
I do love how they spent the entire episode trying to keep Elena away from the party. Elena showed up. Elena ended up in danger. And throughout all of this, after all of this happened, no one thought to make sure Elena got home safe.
Nobody's like, here, let me walk you home. Nobody's like,
no one. They're like, she's got it, she's fine.
Like, Jeremy took Bonnie home. It was like, hey, do you want to ride home? But like, didn't think about his sister.
Well, she brought her own car.
That's true.
She was talking to Jeremy on the phone, and she's like, "Yeah, okay, give Bonnie a ride home. I'll take my own car, and I'm just gonna go to bed. So don't bother talking to me." So, Jeremy was the only good one here. True. Jeremy, you're flawless.
Yeah,
baby.
You at least would think like Stefan would have made sure, or Caroline.
Well, Stefan just got broken up with like permanently by Elena, so maybe not Stefan.
Okay, fair.
I would say. Best candidate would be actually, honestly, maybe Caroline.
Damon.
I mean, Damon.
Caroline was also dealing with. Caroline was dealing
actually,
with.
Actually, maybe it makes sense because all of them were kind of like busy with their own shit.
Kind of busy. Now that I'm actually thinking about it, wait a minute.
Yeah, now that we're thinking about it, yeah, it kind of actually makes sense that nobody thought about how Elena got home because Jeremy already talked to her. She said she was good. Stefan just got his fucking heart broken. Damon's over here sealing Katherine in a tomb. Caroline's dealing with the police and with Tyler. Like, yeah, maybe it...
And Matt's unconscious.
And Matt's still unconscious.
Yeah, maybe it makes sense that she got kidnapped.
Okay, well, never mind. Never mind. I can't blame anyone.
You know what? This kidnapping, this one tracks, y'all.
Yep.
Should we keep an Elena kidnapping counter?
Sure.
Because I feel like it's going to happen so fucking often.
We need to, I think. I do like how one of the notes I wrote was, Elena's in danger. Must be Thursday.
She gets kidnapped so fucking often, continuing. Like, it's an ongoing theme that she gets kidnapped a fucking bunch.
Do they eventually
let's just
like
start
make
our
it
timer.
into do they eventually make it into like a gag, or does it just
nothing in the Vampire Diaries is a gag? That's the worst part is they take themselves seriously the whole fucking time.
Rip. If it became a
so
gag,
no, it's
that
not
would
a gag.
So good. Damn.
Yeah, that's it. So here's our new segment, Elena kidnapping counter. We're at 1 right now, folks. She has been kidnapped once.
No, season 1.
When did she get kidnapped in season 1?
When they're about to open the tomb, Anna and her vampire boyfriend.
Oh, right.
So this is twice. Elena has now gotten kidnapped twice.
Yeah, that is
folks. Let's keep this counter going. Is it 3 already? I swear to fucking God, if it's 3 already, I'm gonna lose my fucking shit.
Okay.
What's the other time in season
Elena
1?
Kidnapped. Oh, that was quick. Damon kidnapped Elena when they went to the bar.
The road trip thing.
The road trip.
Road trip? Okay, yeah,
I
sure.
guess that's kind of kidnapping, yeah.
Pete's pulling up. Who kidnapped Elena in season 2? Oh, we already got that one. We're about to get there. Haha.
So, this is the 3rd time she's gotten kidnapped?
I think so.
3rd time in about 30 episodes? Elena gets kidnapped right now about once every 10 episodes. Because we're at about 30 episodes of TVD right now, and she's gotten kidnapped 3 times. So this is our official Elena kidnap counter. We're at 3 so far. Jesus fucking Christ, girl. Take a self-defense class. God damn it.
I feel like we could have so many counters of like just for different characters and things that they continue to do throughout
the Elena kidnap counter is going to go up high this season, just telling you now.
I mean, it makes sense because of the... I mean, that makes sense for what happens in the next episode, what's revealed in the next episode, that she's going to get kidnapped a lot.
So let's talk about Season 2, Episode 8, Rose. The description of this is, it is a very good episode. The description of it is, Stefan and Damon come to Elena's assistance and, in the process, learn surprising new information. Yeah,
that's the whole episode.
Yeah, that's
correct. You're right. This is one of the few like Netflix descriptions that I don't have a terrible problem with. Like, yeah, dude, that is what happened. Yeah. So the episode opens up with the dude who kidnapped Elena at the party last night, handing her over to another guy in a dark car wearing sunglasses, and the guy's like, hey kid, come closer. come a little closer. And then he takes a little vampire snack for the road and murders the dude who kidnapped Elena.
Didn't
justice.
anyone ever teach the guy not to get close to someone in a in a dark van?
I know, it's like stranger danger just went out the fucking window.
I do like the note that I wrote was, "Aw shit, a vampire in my good Christian suburbs."
Oh darn.
I don't know why, but I did.
You know, it's true. They're becoming a real fucking problem. So then we kind of cut to Caroline just really wants to protect Tyler, I think, because she didn't have anyone when she first turned, and so she's trying to be that person for somebody else. Which
I love that for her.
Caroline Forbes,
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
I love you so much. I mean, Damon's a dick, but
Yeah.
Tyler's struggling,
Yeah.
and so Caroline's gonna
Tyler, but
help.
also Damon does have a point. Tyler can kill them with one bite, and
that is true.
He's like, just don't be stupid, Caroline.
But I think Caroline's smart enough to not be stupid, you know?
Yeah. Caroline's smarter than Damon, obviously.
Exactly. Jeremy is the first one to discover that Elena went missing because he like tries to wake her up in the morning for school, which, like, hey guys, do you remember that they go to high school?
Whoa.
I did write that note.
Like, do you remember that they go to school sometimes?
I forgot they went to school.
I did too.
But also, no one realizing that Elena isn't home. Like, Jeremy, okay, maybe because, like, in the last episode, she was like, I'm just gonna go straight to bed, blah, blah, blah. But, like, ooh, are you okay over there?
Yeah, I'm good. Miss Rona's coming for me, but that's okay.
Oh, grip.
She caught me slipping.
Anyway, continue.
But, like, Jenna not realizing.
I mean, Jenna also got stabbed like 2 days ago.
Oh, you know,
Jenna
you're
and
right.
probably on like a bunch of painkillers.
Exactly. Jenna gets a pass because she's high off her ass on
so then let's all blame it on Alaric like we should.
Alaric's probably on her painkillers.
It is just bad parenting 101 with these two. I cannot.
I know. But Jeremy approaches Stefan at school and he's like, hey man, I'm really glad you and Elena fix things, but like, let me know so I can cover for her, okay? And Stefan's like, what? Why would we didn't fix things. He's like, oh, so she wasn't at your house? Shit, because she's not at my house. So we good? And Stefan's like, fuck, we're not good, dude. And so they try to they're like, shit, do we need to go get Katherine out of the tomb to make her tell us where Elena went or what? And then Bonnie's like, I actually might be able to help that without going to Katherine. So that we'll get back to that. Elena wakes up in like a weird, dusty old church.
I called it a serial killer house.
It does seem like a serial killer house because there's no light coming in from the outside.
There's like barely any furniture.
Exactly, because these two old school vampires, no daylight rings. They can only go out at night, so they keep light out of their house during the day. So the one who took his little snack for the road earlier is Trevor, and then the other one is a lady vampire named Rose, who looks a lot like Alice Cullen.
Yeah,
I've never watched.
And I just want to know if that was intentional.
Now that I'm thinking about it, like, oh god.
Yeah, she really does. Is that the same actress? That can't be. It's not, right?
No, it's not. It's not. No.
She just looks a lot like Alice Cullen from Twilight. And
no, she is not.
Exactly. So Trevor and Rose are talking about an old school vampire named Elijah.
He's not important. Don't worry.
He's not important. Don't worry. He's gonna just kind of be here for a few eps and then drop out, like Sarah and he did. So just keep the name in mind. Maybe it'll pop up later. Probably not. But
I do like how Elena was asking like a lot of questions, and then Rose just straight up pimp slapped Elena, and she's like, "I said be quiet."
But also,
I really want you to be quiet.
Her accent isn't real, right?
Nope, that's her real accent. Lauren Conan is actually British.
Why does it sound so fake?
Actually, I think. Hold on, let me look this up.
British accents sound fake.
Because
Cohen.
at one
Oh,
point I was like, oh,
yep, British.
at one point I was like, oh, it's a British accent. And then she said, I told you to stop asking questions. And I was like, that did not sound British at all. That sounded American. So I'm confused.
Yeah, that is her real accent.
It sounded so fake sometimes, and I don't know why, but it did.
I mean, we're about to get into a point in this show where, like, you're gonna hear accents and you're like, that's not your real accent, is it? That can't be. And hey, spoiler alert, it's not. I mean, sometimes, but it's not. So back to the school.
Oh shit!
What?
Fun development. I just watched a video of Lauren Conan. She's not British.
Okay, I was correct.
You were correct.
Thank
I was
you.
wrong. But she is British American.
So, like, her parents are British?
I think so, but she was born in New Jersey.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Fuck New Jersey, first of all.
Snooki has entered the chat.
Fuck New Jersey. I almost got mugged once in New Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey.
Oh my god.
As a New Yorker,
Anyway.
fuck New Jersey, you know?
Here we go.
As a Bostonite, fuck New York.
I'm from Kansas. I have no horse in this race.
No, we got horses in the back.
Oh god.
Shut up, Brian.
You love me. Okay, where were we?
So we go back to the school where Bonnie is laying out a map, and she's like, hey, Jeremy, cut your hand. I'll use the energy and the way you're related to Elena to find her. To which I say, Jeremy and Elena, did we talk about this? Are they technically cousins?
Yes, they're technically cousins.
Technically? Okay. So that's fairly distant, but okay, Bonnie, I love it.
But also, like, Jeremy's decision to just cut his whole palm of his hand. And
they really love slicing those palms.
Like, we're back at it again with the Gilbert stupidity. Just prick your hand for that much blood. Don't go ahead and slice your entire hand. There's no reason to do that.
Slash your hand like you're slashing a tire.
Just like, yeah, what, y'all? You good? You're not good, but are you good? So I just wanted to mention that the CGI on that map, by the way, pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
The way the blood like, coagulates in the kind of center and leaves like the residue behind and then goes down, like, oh.
Yeah, I did good on that one.
I will say, though, that was the entire season 2 CGI budget, though.
That's fine.
Yeah, because the next time they use CGI in this episode, it's like, oh, all right, cool.
Yeah. So then we go, Caroline and Tyler are having like a talk because Tyler's like, what the fuck? Who are you? What are you? And Caroline's stronger than Tyler, and I just want to say, that's hot.
Yeah.
That's just hot.
Yeah.
That's just...
I turned straight because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's the thing. Do I ship Caroline and Matt? 100% yes. Do I also see something happening between Caroline and Tyler? 100% yes.
You are correct.
And we just have to accept that.
Yeah.
That's a secret mouse tool that we'll use for later.
Mm-hmm.
So we go back. So the Scooby Gang agrees that Damon and Stefan are going to go rescue Elena. And that Jeremy's gonna kind of run the op from back home. He's gonna try and pull up like Google Maps to see what's around that area and see like where they're hiding, because they don't get like an exact location from a locator spell. So they do that. At some point, I don't know if this is because of the time difference or because Jeremy and Bonnie just ditched school, but they just end up in the Gilbert household.
Yeah.
And Bonnie's like, hey, go get me like a candle and Elena's hairbrush. Jeremy grabs her a candle and Elena's hairbrush. He also just puts the candle directly onto his bed.
Not
and Jeremy,
safe.
I know you're a teenage boy and so you're stupid, but also, bro.
Not safe at all.
Yeah, Jeremy's dumb.
Jeremy's so dumb, but he is also so willing to do whatever Bonnie says that I'm like, oh,
Aw.
okay. So you're like puppy dog dumb. Love that for you.
Yep. He is.
Back at the abandoned mansion, serial killer house, weird maybe quasi church thing. It gave me very like vaguely like church in the middle of nowhere vibes, but I think it was probably a
I said foreclosed mansion.
yeah. Foreclosed mansions. There's so many fucking foreclosed mansions around Virginia. What the fuck are y'all doing in Virginia that you leave this many mansions foreclosed on? Are you all good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The answer is
No,
no.
I think they are.
But back at that foreclosed mansion, we learned from Rose like talking to Elena and Trevor that Elijah is an original.
Dun dun dun.
And she doesn't really describe it more than that he was one of the first ones, and that's kind of where she leaves it. She also, though, drops that you need a moonstone plus a doppelganger to break whatever curse they're trying to break. So you
The Son of
need
the Moon curse.
exactly. So you need the binding object, which is the moonstone, plus the blood of the doppelganger, which we can assume sacrificial lamb, like you're going to need all of the doppelganger's blood.
Mm-hmm.
And then who knows what else you need to throw in this witchy stew, honestly. I'm going to be excited that we can I'll be psyched to see what it is. What else we need to throw in this witchy brew.
I do love in this
I
episode.
do like though how.
Go ahead, Brian.
Oh, sorry, Jordan. You go ahead, Jordan.
I do like how in this episode we like get to learn more about doppelgangers, but like not enough to like understand why these doppelgangers exist or like like we only know that like they break this curse for some reason. I think that's really fun that they're introducing that, especially because I feel like this episode does a lot to like wrap up certain things, but then also introduce new things that make you intrigued more.
Yep.
Yeah, it's also fascinating because Katherine is technically then as well a doppelganger.
So like, who's the 1st?
So did she turn into a vampire to avoid being used as the sacrifice for this?
Yeah.
Like, what's the logic there?
Yeah, and I do like how Elena realized when Rose is like, no, the moonstone is what binds the curse. Sacrifice is what breaks it. And Elena's like, sacrifice? She's like, excuse me?
Can you run that by me again? Angry British vampire?
Yeah. Yeah, it was great.
So
I just love
Tyler then, we cut back to Mystic Falls. Tyler approaches Caroline in her house, and he's all dramatic. He's like, tell me you're a werewolf. Say it! And then Caroline just giggles.
She's like, what?
Cutest thing. It's the cutest thing in the world. She's getting like pinned up against a wall by this very angry wolf boy, and she's like, oh, that's cute. That's fun. She's like, I'm not a fucking werewolf, dumbass. And so she reveals to him that she is a vampire.
Very smart of Caroline to do that, but then also not say explicitly, oh, and there are also other vampires. Just be like, oh no, I'm just like also the only one of my kind, and I also had to figure all this out on my own. And like, very smart, because you know, you don't know what could happen in the future. It might be in the future that maybe Tyler's like compelled for some reason and they need to know like about these other vampires, and now like the only information that he knows is that Caroline is a vampire. So like she did like a good job of only implicating herself, but like keeping everyone else safe, which is a very smart Caroline thing to do.
Yeah, Caroline basically said, I'm the only vampire in town. And Tyler's like, are you sure? And she goes, yep, I'm the only one.
He's like, then how'd you turn into a vampire? She's like, long story, I'll tell you later. And we all know she's never gonna fucking tell him. Yep. Love that for her.
Nope.
So we cut back to the mansion, which is where we're gonna ride out the last part of this episode. And I can't wait. So, 500 years ago, Trevor helped Katherine escape her fate, and now he and she has been on the run for 500 years. So, who is a bigger, badder vampire than a 500-year-old vampire? Because that's about the limit, because we've been kind of introduced to Katherine being the oldest vampire that like they know at about 500 years, and we haven't really been introduced to anybody who's older than that. So it's like, oh shit, there's even like, we knew logically that there was an older, bigger, badder vampire, but now it's like, oh, we're gonna meet those older, bigger, badder vampires, huh?
And what I actually
knock.
What I actually really like about
Yeah.
this is that now that we're getting to older, bigger, badder vampires, it does seem
Mhm.
like we will get out of the rut of being stuck in the 1900s. And
Mhm.
or sorry,
Yeah.
the is it 1900s or 1800s?
The 1800s.
1800s. We'll get out of the rut of staying in the 1800s and like go further back, which I'm excited for because the 1800s kind honestly, I'm gonna say it kind of sucks as
Oh, they did.
as like a period of time,
Mhm.
as like just like especially in America sucks. But to move
Bad.
out of that and to go back even further in
See
different
even
places
worse
outside of
periods of time. Oh,
yeah,
can't wait.
yeah. I mean, it's
I really. Oh, sorry.
no, I was just gonna say it's bad like all around, but like I just am
Yeah,
excited to get out of America in the 1800s.
yeah. Because I remember watching this live. The first time they said he's one of the first vampires in original, I was like, the what?
Yeah.
Like the original vampires? Like, because at this point we didn't know much.
Mhm.
Obviously, we were just told there's a curse. There's original vampires. They're trying to break the curse. Good luck. And we're like, ha 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 ha. But like it opened up the door to like so many storylines that they could do. So it was kind of cool, like to know that like there's other vampires out there that's not just Mystic Falls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now we're going back. We're going back even further. And so
I'm
knock
also
knock knock on the front door. What the fuck? God damn it. What?
I was just gonna say I'm also excited for costume design.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
Yeah, that's
Give me that
Me too.
1500s Bulgaria realness.
like fuck yeah.
Can I do my fun transition now?
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, you
Do I
can.
get permission to now?
Sorry, Mom.
You. I really am just like a disgruntled mother.
Yeah. Ooh, one more thing. I'm kidding.
Bee's
I
about
know
to
you
snap
can't
your
see it.
neck.
I know you can't see it, but the look I just gave you.
Send in the mail.
I'll take a picture of it, send it in the mail. Not by USPS because
Yes,
they're
please.
currently a dumpster fire, but I'll send it. So
Okay, good. Thank you.
after they're talking, and then Trevor comes in the room kind of like freaked out. He's like, they're fucking here. They're here. He's here. And you're like, who the fuck is here? And then knock 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 on the front door. It swings open to reveal a man standing fully in the daylight, dressed in a suit with a really unfortunate haircut. And it is
The man.
the man. It is Elijah. He's here, he's dapper, and he is oh so ready to fuck shit up.
Really ready to fuck shit up.
Fuck shit up
I love my notes were, aw shit, here he comes. The first original of the entire series. Now think about that. Obviously, at this point, we know that there's a Vampire Diaries spinoff called The Originals, but like,
Mhm.
this was the first original we ever saw. Like,
And wow, was it an
oh,
introduction, can I just say?
it was.
What an
It was an introduction.
introduction. Elijah is introduced as a man of honor, a man who will keep his word, and a man who rewards loyalty above all else. So
Mm-hmm.
he goes in the room and he sees Elena, and he like smells her.
I thought he was going in for a kiss at first, and I was like, that's kind of weird. And then he smelled
I
her, and I
really
was
did
like,
too.
that's still weird. That's even a
I was
little bit
like,
weirder.
yeah,
Listen, vampires have different cultures than we do.
they're basically just the French. So he's like, you're human, delightful, and then he turns around to Trevor,
Oh God, Trevor.
and he just judo chops Trevor's head off.
It was really
Just
gruesome.
straight arms it just right off his fucking shoulders.
You're like,
I loved it.
It's so good.
it's like
I loved how even before that, Elijah was like, "You're forgiven." Slice.
Yeah, he's just like, you're fine. I will forgive you. I'm also, though, going to fucking murder you.
it was like
Which
I
I
like
love.
I saw it coming, but it was also like, damn, he just really just went like bam, and then snapped his head. Not even snapped his head off, just punched his head off. Like,
Yeah, just
imagine
chop that shit off.
imagine the amount of power you have to just punch someone's head off.
Elijah is incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he chops Trevor's head off. He also, though, he spares Rose because he says that you were loyal to Trevor and that's okay. And so he, by killing Trevor, he lets Rose live. And for that, it's kind of his big thing. His big thing is loyalty and honor. And you can tell that already.
He sounds like a mafia person, you know?
He kind of
Oh,
does sound like a
100%.
mafia don, yes. So
You come to me today on the day of my daughter's wedding. That is a horrible mafia voice.
that really was. That was so bad.
I've never seen The Sopranos. Don't attack me.
That's not from The Sopranos.
from
That's
The
from The
Sopranos,
Godfather.
yeah.
You insult what? Jesus Christ.
I am horrible. That was just Donald Trump.
That was
God.
even worse. I can't believe you've never seen The Godfather. It's a fucking
I mean, I've never seen it, but I also know I've like seen certain clips from it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Jesus Christ.
You're welcome.
So this entire time, while Elena's been captured here, Bonnie used magic to get her a note that said Stefan and Damon are coming for you. And Stefan and Damon do arrive. Stefan is like kind of gung-ho, and Damon's like, yo, we don't know what the fuck is going on in there, so like if you want to go in, you might not come out of there. And Stefan says the line, I can't think of a better reason to die, which, hey Steph, you good?
I don't think he is. He just came out of a breakup, so
He's really
He's about to risk it all.
yeah.
for his ex-GF,
Yeah.
honestly.
It's like one of those
Damn.
people who are still in love with their ex, and they're like, I really would do anything for this person, even though they've broken my heart. They just like stomped on my heart and
Yeah.
crushed it into a million pieces. I would still do anything for this person, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Stefan he's about to risk it all.
He really is about to risk it all because the boys enter the mansion.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of double team it here. They're like up here, down here. Where is everything going on? And they get Rose out of the way. They get Elena out of the way, and they shoot a stake at Elijah, and it goes through his hand. And he like blinks and then just takes it out of his hand like it's fucking nothing.
And you're like, oh shit.
And then he picks up like a coat rack. And he's like, y'all motherfuckers better get ready, because I'm about to stab the shit out of ya. He's just like calmly getting his big ass steak ready. And he's such a cocky asshole, and I love it.
But he like has reason to be a cocky asshole, you know what I mean? Like it's not like a cocky asshole without purpose. Like he's like I am better than you, and you know that. You know?
I am older.
Yeah,
I am
he's not
stronger.
he's not just a vampire. He is the vampire.
Exactly.
He is the first vampire.
Original
vampire. I mean, I don't think at this point Damon and Stefan don't know what they're going up against, so they probably just think it's another vampire.
Yeah, exactly. They just think he's kind of cocky because they don't know.
Well, actually,
who
they
he
do
is.
know that he's older than Katherine, so they do know that he's very, very strong. They just don't know how strong he is.
Exactly. They don't know how much older. So they fight for a while, they scuffle, they shoot him in the face with a vervain grenade, which I'm sure does really great things for your complexion. I'm so sorry they like disrupted your skincare routine like that, Elijah. I'm so sorry. And they managed to drive that big ass stake through his heart against the door, and he desiccates.
He shrivels up.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, really, just like a waste of a good plot line that was really about to set off. I'm very upset that they kind of just did it all in one episode.
Yeah,
it's just like,
I really wish they didn't like kill him off. Like we just got to know who Elijah was. Like I wanted to like know more about like where he came from and like why he was there and like if he would have gotten the moonstone and like you know all that stuff.
What's his purpose? Who is he? What's his last name? We don't even know his fucking last name or his star sign already.
Yeah,
like goddamn.
Like it just feels like a loss.
We don't even know if he'll get a happy ending.
Yeah,
because he's dead.
He's dead.
Yeah, obviously he didn't because he's dead now.
Yeah.
So
he's dead.
We make it back. Everything resolves. They get back to the Salvatore house. Rose arrives with a warning.
Uh-oh.
She says that you may have gotten rid of one, but there is more than one original, and they're all doing this for him. So, honey, you got a big storm coming. They're doing it for Klaus.
And you're like, uh-oh, who the fuck is Klaus?
Sorry, Klaus?
Klaus?
Klaus.
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 Uh-huh.
Klaus.
I'm not going to stand for that.
Welcome to phonetic alphabet.
Remember?
I'm not going to stand for that mispronunciation this whole goddamn podcast.
You're
You're actually going to end up liking him.
Do you remember in the beginning of this podcast when I was like Alaric?
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna happen again.
We're gonna just train it out of you, you know? Yeah. So it's Klaus.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. There you go. You got it.
Here he comes.
But he's not here.
Santa Claus is coming.
But he's not here. We don't know who he is, and we don't know what all they are doing for him. They don't know what's going on. So that's a secret Mousecatool that I'm sure really isn't going to come back up later.
Yeah.
Then we go to the Gilbert house. And Damon reveals that he loves Elena. He kisses her on the forehead, and then he compels it all away.
And guess what? He says he loves her, and like, I don't care. And then he says he doesn't deserve her. I'm like, yeah, you're right. And then he makes her forget. And I was like, yeah, correct. Uh-huh.
Okay. Like, weird? Okay, sure.
Like,
go off,
like,
Ken.
sure, you love Elena. Okay. Next.
I will say, though, I did like this scene. Like, I did like it. Like, watching it again kind of made me realize that, like, Damon... Okay, I'm gonna get attacked for this. Damon really isn't that bad. That bad. He's still bad, obviously. Mm-hmm. But, like...
yourself?
He realized... He said, I love you and I want to protect you, but I don't deserve you. Like, I can't love you. It's not right. And so he said, I just need to say it. Compelled it. Goodbye. So it was nice in that sense for me. That was kind of like his closure.
But we all know that chapter is far from over.
Here's my thing.
It's the end of Delena.
Here's how I understand.
It's the end of Delena.
Here's how I understand Damon as a character. He is selfish. He's always selfish. Yep. Even this act in itself is selfish. And that is just his character, because like, even if he loves Elena or whatever, like, the only reason he really cares about, like, he only really cares about the woman he's in love with. Does that make sense? He was concerned about Katherine, and he was in love with her for 140 years. So he was only doing anything and everything to get to be with her, which was selfish. And he was also being an asshole while doing it. Now he's in love with Elena, and he's like, now I'll be nice to you and your friends or whatever, Elena, because I'm now invested in you as a person, and I am now invested in being in love with you. So now I will take care with you and who you are, and like, be kinder to you, and like, say I'm in love with you, but also like not really tell you, because that would be quote unquote selfish, when in actuality he's always being selfish. That is his character.
You're right. Also, there's some big fight going on outside my window, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you can hear that. There's some dudes just fucking yelling out there.
Maybe ask them if they ship Delena or Stelena.
That's what they're yelling about, actually.
Oh, shit. Okay.
It's the original ship war happening on the street in Kansas.
Yeah, because before Twitter, we didn't have Twitter. We had Twitter during this, but it wasn't, like, as popular.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like at cons and people being like, you shipped Delena, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And
people are insane.
That's really what it was.
I can't.
So much fun.
Oh, it was. Okay, but that was the entire episode, right? Great, let's go home.
But wait. There's more.
There's what?
There's more.
There's a secret Mousecatool years for later. It's finally coming back.
It's coming back.
Finally.
Fade in on the picture of the foyer of the abandoned mansion, where Elijah is stuck to the wall with a big stake, and he's desiccated.
It's fine.
And then his skin starts to change.
Huh?
and he moves a little bit. He gets some color back into his skin, and he looks motherfucking pissed.
I mean, I will say though, watching this live, the first time I watched it live,
Oh my god.
I literally thought
Absolute.
Elijah. I was screaming. I remember this because my mom yelled down the stairs, "Shut up!" And I remember like going like, "What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?"
See,
Because at this point in the show, we were told stakes kill vampires.
Mhm.
Once you're staked in the heart, you're dead.
Uh-huh.
The
Nothing can bring you
desiccated,
back.
you don't
from
come
that.
back from that desiccation that we saw his
No,
skin.
but all of a sudden, here comes Elijah, just ripping that out of his own heart, and he's like, "Okay, who am I killing?"
So
He's like, well, now I gotta get a new motherfucking suit.
see, the thing is for me, right?
Elijah's fine. He has like 1,000 suits.
The thing is for me, even though this is my first time watching this through, I know certain information, you know? So I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that coming because obviously I saw that coming. I've watched Legacies. I know I've been in the fandom for a while, so I know like a couple things that are gonna happen. So it was like, even though I didn't know the specific thing was gonna happen, I was like, he's not dead because he shows up later in the show, so he's not dead.
Yeah.
But still,
still was kinda
imagine watching this live.
Yeah, I can imagine
God, that
watching
would
it
be
live.
so
That would have
fucking
been good.
wild.
Yeah.
I'm that person. I am that person that got to see this live. Like, I remember thinking like, oh my god, the original vampires. Oh, great, one of them's dead. Okay, well, that was fun.
How did they
And then all of a
survive
sudden he's
for
alive,
so
and you're
many years if it was easie enough for the Salvatore brothers, fucking Dumb and Dumber, to kill him? Like, come on, y'all.
Yeah, true.
listen, 16-year-old Brian was not thinking that. He was just like, whoa, shit.
Mhm.
I mean, who really would think that, you know? Like, I don't
Because
think
we've been told like for the past season, like, stake to the heart kills a vampire. That's it. And then you're like, this doesn't kill them.
But that is the end of this episode of TVD. So that's the end of that episode. Now, here's the hard part. Hey, Jourdann.
Yeah.
What are you ranking episode 207 Masquerade?
I'm gonna rank this very high for several reasons.
Okay. Okay.
First reason, I just like the way that they used the cast in this episode. I love the Scooby Gang whole dynamic. That was wonderful, great. I loved it. I loved that they wrapped up the whole werewolf storyline and just that Tyler's a werewolf now, even though it's like pretty sad. I love that Katherine is now in a tomb, and they wrapped it up, but also introduced the fact that there's these like someone who's after her, and they're still after her. Now they're after Elena. I just think this is like a very good episode, and it ends with Elena being kidnapped. You know, we've seen it before, but like still, and even though I saw it coming, I saw something bad happening to her. Like that was like a good ending. I think I'm ranking this episode a 9.
A 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so far it's been one of my favorite episodes.
Love it. Brian, what are you ranking it?
10.
I saw that coming. Honestly, that's what I thought Jourdann was gonna rank it.
Honestly, though, it's just like this episode was just so.
It was very
like,
good.
It's one of those episodes that when I tell people like why I love this show, I always reference like this episode because it was like it had the drama, the comedy, the emotions, the action. Like, this is what the Vampire Diaries is to me. Like, it's that episode to me. Like, and it's just, I love it so much. And it's ultimately, I think, one of my top 5 episodes.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I honestly, I know last season I set my standard for a 10 as like, this is the best episode of the season, it won't get any better than this. That's what I set the standard for me ranking it last season. So I only gave out 110 for season 1. This time, I honestly think this episode is a 10, and we're gonna have other 10s. So I think this episode for me is a 10.
Actually, I might also change mine to a 10. Just because like I feel like I never give out 10s, and like I feel like this deserves a 10. I feel like I'm always hesitant to give out 10s because I'm like, I don't know if this is like the best thing ever. But like
But
honestly,
there can be multiple really good episodes.
yeah. So like I'll give it a 10. I'll give it a 10. We'll give it 10
Uh,
across the board.
Mm-hmm.
are you guys okay?
Brian,
Yeah,
we can
I'm
You have a
recognize
gun to
when
your
there's
head.
Brian, we can recognize when the episode is good, you know. We just don't think every episode is
Holding a
good.
gun to your head. If you're being held hostage, blink
Oh
twice.
my god. We have the ability to
I
be
feel
nuanced individuals, Brian.
I feel so honored right now.
Yeah, this is a really fucking good episode.
Yeah. There's just so much good
Yeah.
things going on in this episode.
I mean, I know we overall as a whole shit on season 1 because it wasn't very good.
Season
But
2
this time kind of slaps.
it
Season
slaps.
2 slaps. So Jourdann, what are you ranking episode 208? Rose.
208 was good, was not as good as episode 7.
Fair.
I think mainly the reason why episode 7 was one of my favorites was because it used all its cats, all of the cast, and it like had like all these like
Mhm.
cool like developing plots like going on at the same time. It was paced very well, so it never felt like too much or too little was happening. This episode, it's pretty
Yeah.
like clear cut and forward what's going on, and like everything is going just driving home to this one point that I can kind of like see in the end, like Elena being saved, right? So like there wasn't too much
Mhm.
going on, and like the subplot of like Caroline helping out Tyler was like interesting, but like not like that interesting. Like they have like a good dynamic, but it wasn't like, oh, this is like the greatest dynamic ever or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I do like though that they introduced the original with Elijah and like the breaking of the sun moon curse. They like introduced this whole doppelganger and this whole doppelganger storyline again, and like again what I was talking about earlier about how like ancestry and and like familial history and like lineages and like figuring out all that type of stuff and like how that plays an important role in this show. Like the whole like bringing up of the doppelganger and like the original really like emphasizes that and like pushes that forward a lot, so I really like that as well. But I don't think it's like 10 worthy. I think honestly also because there's like a lackluster B plot and the A plot was like also kind of like okay. I think I might just like give it an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. Valid.
Okay.
A lot of interesting new concepts introduced, but not much beyond that. Brian,
Yeah.
what are you ranking it?
I'm gonna say 9.
Mhm.
Just because like it's another one of those episodes that really like stands out when I think of the Vampire Diaries. Like
Mhm.
I just remember I'm mainly rating this 9 because I remember watching this live and remember like because I think this is like there was like a break between this episode and the last episode, so it was kind of like a little bit of time like trying to figure out like what happened to Elena, and to finally get those answers and then get even more like questions, and it was just like it interested me because it was like they weren't focusing so much on the romance plot anymore. They were focusing on mythology and like action, and I was like, yeah, that's my crud.
Do you mean that's my
I'm-
stuff?
That's my shit.
That's my stuff. I meant to say that's my crap, and then I meant to also say stuff. So I think I just kind of combined those two and said crud. But no, and also I fell in love with Rose. I love her, and I'm happy we're probably gonna see more of her, obviously.
Yeah.
I just fell in love with like, and honestly, season 2 is one of my favorite seasons. So like all of these episodes really like stick out hardcore to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also Elijah, like I cannot deny that.
Exactly.
Like
Elijah.
epic.
So good. He's so good. So for this one, I think I'm gonna give it an 8, because, and I would give it a 9, but the B plot wasn't really there. But I do love the mythologizing and I love the lore that we got here. So I'm actually gonna give it an 8.5. If it had a stronger B plot, it would have been like a 9 or a 10 for me, but 8.5 seems solid for this episode. It's still very high.
Oh, definitely. I said 9 just because I fell in love with everybody.
I know. Listen, we all fell in love with Elijah, and I will fall in love with Elijah when he fixes his hair. When he gets that whole situation
Okay,
sorted
so you
out,
got 3 years?
it's over for me. Exactly. Then it's over for me once that gets sorted. Um Interesting to note here, I have not ranked an episode thus far under an 8. Jourdann hasn't ranked
Okay, someone's
under a 7. So, like, this
I've
season,
always been 9 or 10 or 8.
exactly, you haven't ranked anything below an 8 either.
This
But
season
this
is very
season,
good.
Amazing.
So next week, join us for we're going to be talking about episode 9 and 10, Katerina and the Sacrifice.
Those okay.
Literally at the end of every episode of Afterbite, Brian's like, those episodes. Oh my gosh, those are my favorite episodes.
No. It's not that. Like, I remember. I don't really remember what happens in the Sacrifice episode, but the Katerina episode, though, y'all in for a treat. I will 100% say y'all in for a ride.
My Netflix autoplay kind of kicked in when I was done watching this episode, so I saw the first 2 seconds of Katerina again, and you know how Jourdann was like, oh man, I'm glad that we get to go back further to other like time periods and everything. It immediately starts off with a flashback. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Yep.
All I'm gonna say.
That's a win for me.
We
it does.
are in for a treat. So, if you want to watch along with us, those are the episodes we're watching. If you want to connect with us, we are on Twitter at AfterBitePod. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. It really does help out a lot.
Yes. Also, follow us on
watching.
Spotify.
Also, follow us on everything.
On everything.
We're Afterbite on pretty much everything, and then AfterBite Pod on Twitter. So that's it. Thanks for listening to Afterbite. Yeah. Join us next week. We have new episodes drop every Friday. If you can't listen to us on a podcast service, we also upload the podcast to YouTube, and I promise I'm going to be getting better at that. Anyway, that's it. Wash your fucking hands and stay inside.
I love that.
Goodbye.
Can we make that the out new